I have a book in me.
This is my friend, my brother.
Thank you, Kelly and Oliver.
I'm a multi-award winning best-selling author.
If you want to start a new business, I suggest you write the book on it.
God woke me up at 2:30 in the morning and I wrote a book.
Some of you got books already. Some of you got novels already.
The lead generator is the book.
You write a book, you leave a legacy to your children.
And I hope you guys listen to these guys so they know what they're talking about.
What's up, everybody? It's the publisher, Mr. Kelly Cole.
And the writing coach, Dr. Oliver T. Reid, the relationship architect. What's that feedback in the back?
You froze, bro. What's that freezing?
Man, I don't know. I'm clear on my end.
This is my brother, Kendall, texting me, talking about what you doing. Recording my podcast. Joker. Welcome to Books-N-Brothas podcast, guys. Another week. We have made it. Bro, how you doing up there?
Man, I'm a heavy man. It's been a mixture of emotions for me. You know, I'm like the sweet and sour Skittles right now.
Yeah.
Some sweet moments, some bitter. You know, everything going on in the world is really impacting me. And then just personally, man, it's just been stuff that's been hitting close to home. A lot of protests here around the area. Seeing a lot of young people just trying to be there to guide them and to listen to them. At the same time, your heart breaking, man. So that's how my week's been going.
For sure, man. Same thing. Like, I'm the type of person, I ain't watched the news probably in 15 years. And social media during this time has become like the news. And, I don't watch the news because of the type of heart that I have. I have a lot of empathy and I can feel people's pain. So I had to be careful what I consume. So this weekend, it got kind of overwhelming, like seeing the despair and the hurt and just seeing, all the stuff that's going on, the rioting, the looting, I'm not against the peaceful protest, but the looting and the robbing and the stealing and the hurting of people, I don't like that. That doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, it's definitely been a heavy week, even heavier weekend. But yeah, looking forward to taking some mental health days to kind of regroup, man, from what's going on.
Yeah, like myself, man, I haven't even watched the news. I just, since the whole COVID thing happened, but social media is just playing over and over and over on somebody's feed, and as you do whatever, I just been kind of like sort of the same thing, man. Just been kind of just trying to stay locked in with work.
Yeah,
and where I can help at.
For sure, bro. For sure. So, yeah, man, let's jump right into this topic. You came up with this topic today, so I'm going to lean on you. But I do have one tip, and you know how we flow. You might say something that may spark something, but I'm telling you, off the dome, I only have one tip to give the people, but I'm going to let you kick it off. So what we talking about?
I'm going to let everybody that's viewing this and everybody that listen to this and have heard our podcast, everybody know that's the setup. Kelly's gonna have more than one tip when he starts talking. We already know.
Yeah.
All right. But the topic today is something that I feel like is very relevant. But before all this stuff was happening, we kind of hit at it on a couple of podcasts we had before. And I've had people that I've actually been coaching who actually want to get involved and do something. So the topic is, how do you take your book and use it as a aid or a guide, or another way to say that is as an activist, or to make it be meaningful. So those are all kind of subcategories under what the topic is. So how do you use that book to become an activist or a lead agent to change, or just something that people can look to in times of crisis? And so we're going to give you some tips on that. So how do you take the book to do that? And I think one of the biggest first tips is you don't have to, we kind of hit it when we led in tonight, was people, the media, social media, TV platforms, everybody's talking about it. So you have so much content. And so from that standpoint, they're already doing the research for you. So my biggest thing is that you can take your book, if you've already written about some positive, because some people have already, just by nature, just by, just them being ahead of the game, or just feeling or doing what's in their heart. Kelly, they've already written books that inspire or uplift men or uplift healing or restoration.
Right.
So you can take that book and actually pull out those points and say, hey, here's some points and some tips. Grab my book from whatever that speaks to violence, if you wrote about violence or abuse. So I would say just do the research. Also, you can actually, I'll give you 2 tips. And that first one is that you can actually take your book that you have already. Some people have written an ebook, some people have written a hardback book, and you can actually come out with a re-edition of that or revise that book to be more specific to what's going on, but by just adding some other chapters or adding some more relevant information that's already out there on the media and Google anyway.
Right. Oh, that's a good. So you gave me a first thing I can piggyback on. So yeah, so if you wrote a book that would fit today's time, it's a great time to repurpose it and re-release that mug. You know, new cover, new title, and like you said, maybe add some extra chapters, or maybe add on to a couple of chapters and revise it and relaunch the whole, you know, thing, especially if it'll fit around what's going on today. So yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. And like you said, maybe release another version of the book you already have now. So if you only have the ebook or the physical book, why not do the audio book? Okay.
Yep.
It's cool. Amazon has a cool platform on doing audiobooks. I don't know. Let's say that for another podcast. Another podcast, we'll talk about doing audiobooks, because I've done a few for my book is on audiobook, and I've done a few for clients as well. So let's talk about that later. But that's one thing that they may want to do, is release their book in another format. So release it in the audio format.
Dope. So that was your first tip.
That was my first one.
Well, definitely, that's powerful. And then you can actually use. I've seen. This is another one, man, that just going to help a lot of photographers out there, right? Who say they want to write a book. Now, this right here is the headbang. I've been seeing so much footage before I, took it off of social media, or just from the standpoint of not focusing on it, but so many nice. I mean, once I say nice in the fact that it captured history, some great shots.
Yeah.
We know that what's going on is not great. The situation, the climate is not great, but the footage, the creativity. What if so many people are taking cameras, pictures, what if you did a picture book with quotes? Well, we talked about it in so many other podcasts.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, it would be dope if somebody just took the footage from what's going on in the different cities or your different area, and you put positive quotes, and you put it out there and do a whole quote book. It won't take you long. And you upload the color images or black and white images. And then do a book on it.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Same thing. I'm going to piggyback. I wish I would have thought about this. Just imagine if you documented the peaceful presentation or whatever type of, whatever's going on in your city or in your town. So like, I live in Bristol, Virginia. There was a peaceful protest here on Sunday. There was a candle lighting on Monday, and then there was a couple of other things. Just imagine if I captured that piece of history and said the book on Bristol, Virginia's protest of 2020. You get what I'm saying? That becomes a part of history, because I got the images, I got the stories. I could have went out there and interviewed people. There's so many different things I could have done to capture this story. And if you're listening to this, hey, it's not too late. That's why I said we don't mind giving out ideas. These are great ideas. I just can't do them all. I am focused on what my gift and my calling is right now, which is helping people become best-selling authors and write books. So I don't have time to chase rabbits or to, go off onto new ideas and shiny ball syndrome, as we call it. So I don't have time to chase shiny balls. I have to stay focused on my mission. The only ideas that I implement right now are ideas that'll help me improve what I'm already doing. But take that idea, as Doc said, start documenting what's going on in your city, in your town, and it could be a great book that you put out right now. So yeah.
Love it, man. Love it. Because one of the things I'm like you, Kelly, learning to, get laser focused with whatever that's on your heart and what your specialty is. The other thing that I would say, man, that's such a powerful, and I'm telling you, if nobody don't do this one, like, it's so simple for you to do, right? This next principle I'm going to give you how to do a book is and I always just saw this by looking at social media with all the different places where you can give, get involved, donate, where to go to. People have already did the research for you. Why not do a research guide?
Yeah.
of how to donate or how to support or how to do a peaceful protest or how to support.
Yeah.
You got all these different things that you can do that's basically public domain.
Yeah.
That you can actually put together and say, hey, the book on protest, if this happens again, we've now been prepared, whatever you want to call the title. And just collaborate, articles, whatever you want to do, documentation, to make a guide to get through certain times of activism, how to formulate a protest. And this is speaking to those who are really being activists out in the community.
Yeah.
And you need to have a book because this is now a part of your history. And one of the things I plan on doing, Kelly, some years back, I ran for office. And so one of the things I want to do eventually, there was a lot of stuff that I put together during that time.
Yeah.
That I want to go back to. Some of you are leading protests. People are paying attention like never before. This is a time that you can just put a resource guide together and put it out to everybody else. As long as you cite it, as long as you referenced it, you got people doing the work for you. There's so many articles out there every day.
Yeah. Dope. Yeah. So that's a great idea. They can create a simple ebook. It doesn't have to be something. A lot of times what stops people is they think they got to write this huge, thick paperback book. But no, you can create an ebook. And just to give you an example, part of my bio, it says that Kelly has written over 50 plus paperback, audio, and ebooks, right? A lot of those ebooks or digital books that I have came from conversations or coaching sessions. So say like if someone contacted me to create a marketing plan for their cupcake business, I turned it into an ebook because I know there's thousands upon thousands of cupcake businesses that are searching the internet for a marketing plan for their cupcake business. So I turned it into an ebook that they can easily download. So think about those types of things like Doc said, like what's going on right now, tools, instructions that you can create. You can create a simple ebook. You don't have to write this big old, 100, 150 page book. Create a simple ebook and get that thing uploaded right now.
I think the greatest thing that too is this. Another tip that is piggybacking on what we've talked about for so many different times. Again, a lot of people are putting out their phone and they are recording. Mm-hmm. They're recording everything. Yeah. So why not record yourself speaking or, whatever you're doing. And I'm speaking to most of the community planners, people that are involved. And I'm also speaking deeply to if you're in law enforcement. If you're in law enforcement at this time, how are you feeling on the other end? A lot of people are not even thinking about that. You got people who are, as an African-American male, but I also got to be a part of the armed guards. I got to be a part of the first responders. I got to be whatever. Your story is very, very important. So you could actually take that, your day-to-day, what you had to do with your account, record it, whatever, then transcribe it. We told you the site before. Kelly probably mentioned them later where you can upload and do all this other stuff. And you can actually have a book or ebook just from the words from your hour being out at a protest or you being on both sides of it. All right. So that's another point. But I want to also combine this other point that you can actually have your book. If you got a book and you are out there activating, you can also take your chapters again and turn them into a presentation or a webinar. A lot of people are looking for guidance. A lot of people are looking for where to go. And want a forum to share. And this is a great time. Number 3 was probably like out of this, I probably have 5 points now, but I'll go, I'm on a roll to say this too. Why not, bro, this dope right now, why don't you do an anthology? Which is easy to do. We've been saying that, but that's easy to do right now about how do these men feel? How does, whatever it can be, whatever topic, and then you just say, hey, I just want 5 authors to contribute. Again, you have 5 chapters, or if you want 10 people, you got 10 chapters about their whole experience. And they could be in different cities, like we said, different states. How is it in Virginia? How is it in Charlotte? How is it in New York City, DC? Because I'm in the DMV, and it was totally different types of protests here in Manassas than it was down the road in DC, and let alone another hour down to Baltimore. Right. So I could choose 3 different authors just in the DMV to tell me about their accounts, and I already have 3 chapters or 4 chapters. Go ahead.
So, another idea too, piggybacking off of that, something we talked about was creating a simple children's book to explain this to your child, or just to explain this to kids who are going to be learning about 2020. Like if you have a baby now, or toddler now, you can turn these stories into a children's book and help your kid understand like what happened, what's going on, and break it down into a form that a kid can understand. So yeah, that's another idea. And like you said, interview people, get out there. Like I said, you can create an anthology. There's people who want to share. There's people who have viewpoints. There's people who have insight that you can get to be a part of your book. All right, bro. I'm gonna give you one more. If you got one more, then I'm gonna give my final one.
Hey man, give me one more. I got one more. I think I got one more. No, I think I'm tapped out. I think I hit you out with 3 last time, so I'm good.
All right, so I'm gonna give mine, and this is not like a tip. This is like to kick some people in the butt right now. So just think about if God has already laid on your heart to write a book about your life story, and it fits to what's going on right now. Okay, there's an author who he didn't actually go with us to publish with us, but he went with somebody else and actually got his book done. And when I saw him promoting it recently, I said, man, that's awesome that he did it. And his book is called Dark Skin, Growing Up in America with Dark Skin, because he's a chocolate brother. And I was like, man, it's so powerful. And I was like, bro, congratulations on actually taking action and putting out your book and doing what God has called you to do. So just think about if you have been pressed upon your heart to write a story about your experiences with police brutality, your experiences of racism, your experiences of growing up with darker skin. And here you are, you didn't do it, and you're missing out on your wave, as they say. You're missing out on your blessing because you didn't write the book, or you didn't take the chance and investing in getting your book done. You were thinking about the money, and here it was, had you invested a small amount of money, you'd be in overflow right now from that single investment. So I want to challenge people who's listening to this, get your book done. You don't know who your book is for. You don't know what time your book is for. You don't know when your time is going to come, when you can take advantage of what's going on in the world. So just think about the guy who has the book Growing Up with Dark Skin. He can get interviewed right now from CNN. He can get interviewed by national media. He can get interviewed by his local media and share his story. And then guess what? He has a product to sell to back it up. He has a product, and he's looked at as an expert because he has the book. So just think about that. If you've already been prompted to write a story and you're on the news or you're doing protests and you're getting interviewed, and guess what? Your book is not done, so you're not even able to capitalize or monetize what's going on today. So that's all I got for him, bro.
Man, and that's such a powerful, powerful tool. It's one of the things, and I'm sure you like this, and I'm not saying this in a braggadocious way. It feels good to receive residual income for having books that you put out. I was looking the other day, and I was looking because I have my royalty accounts. Just going to a place that's almost like a savings where I don't even see it. And I happened to look in that savings. I'm like, where am I getting this extra cash from?
Right.
And I realized, these are from the books. I wasn't even thinking about it.
Yeah.
That this stuff is residual, but had I not put it out there, going to your point, had you not been planning, had you not been putting it out there, you never know the times where times like this happen and people are looking for reading. They're looking for people with advice. They're looking for speakers. They're looking for, like I tell everybody, man, even though the world is shut down, it's starting to open up and it's, slowly but surely.
Right.
The web is still wide open for you to speak, for you to be interviewed, for you to come across and talk about your thing. And recently I got asked to be in this whole group of men having like a self-talk conversation. There's going to be really a dope platform because it's really kind of like a lot of B-roll. So if you're in the movies or whatever, you know what I mean? It's almost like a personal life encounter for these African-American men across the country. And had I not been positioning myself to be able to speak or out there, I got selected because of the book. They was like, hey, Manhandle, you got X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And because I'm passionate about men, I was like, I don't need to take a lot on my plate. But then I started hearing what it was about. Celebratory about men, black men, and what they feel, and what they go through. Like, this right up my alley.
So,
and even being in a place to share. So I just echo what you're saying, that when you're ready, man, get ready. You can't get ready. You know, sometimes you just got to be able to put it out. So if you hear this message, man, you got time. Don't let another 6 months, 6 weeks pass by. Let's get going.
Just get it done. Like it's not hard, man. If you use the tools and you listen to this podcast, you can get a book done fairly quickly. We give you the tools, we give you the resources. So just get it done. Just knock it out. So, all right, bro. Anything else before we start going down our closing remarks?
No, man, I just think, one of the things that you can replay this, I think this is one that you need to replay. We always say we play all of it, but there's some episodes that if you're listening, you're following us, go back and listen to the details. There's some secrets in the details.
For sure. Yep. All right, guys. So if you guys want to book us for an event, like we're available for virtual events, if you want to book us, or if you want some coaching, Doc is available for writing coaching, and he's also available for relationship coaching with you and your spouse or one-on-one. I'm available for book publishing coaching and also marketing. So hit us up, books-n-brothas@gmail.com. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and share these episodes. Share these episodes, please. Whatever platform you listen to it on, please share. I get a lot of people hit me up and say, yo, dope podcast, bro. Make sure you, number one, rate us on whatever platform you listen to, and please share it so we get more listeners, more subscribers, and more viewers so we can start monetizing this thing. So we really appreciate it, bro. Any final words before we give them our quote?
No, man, I would just say take the time to appreciate what you have. I think it's one of the biggest things. Take time to appreciate what you have, and don't let it be dead before you appreciate what you have. While you have life, speak to what's living. And that's what I've been telling everybody. If you follow my social media posts today, from a standpoint, speak to what's living. Don't just protest when people get killed, and rightfully we should, but at the end of the day, what are we speaking and sowing into our king's life now? What are we speaking to the people that are living now among us that's doing great things? Are we being appreciative of what we have? And it just made me think even more with my son. So you thought about your son.
Yeah.
Me being a man, just happy to be able to say I could pick up the phone and call or whatever it is. So celebrate every moment.
Dope, man. On that note, you don't have to get it right.
Just got to get it going.
All right, man. Thank y'all. Love you, bro. See you next week.
Bro. All right.
I have a book in me.
This is my friend, my brother.
Thank you, Kelly and Oliver.
I'm a multi-award winning best-selling author.
If you want to start a new business, I suggest you write the book on it.
God woke me up at 2:30 in the morning and I wrote a book.
Some of you got books already. Some of you got novels already.
The lead generator is the book.
You write a book, you leave a legacy to your children.
And I hope you guys listen to these guys so they know what they're talking about.